Good morning, everyone.
Morning,
Good
everyone.
morning.
We are learning Mishna Kiddushin, Perek Dalet, Chapter 4, Mishnah Beis, Mishnah 2. Now, the previous Mishnah that went through the 10 types of lineage that came to Eretz Yisrael when Ezra returned with part of the Jewish people from Babylonia to Israel, there were two of them were called Shtuki and Asufi, which literally translates as the quiet ones and the gathered in ones. So now the Mishnah is going to tell us what these categories actually are. We mentioned it yesterday, but this is the Mishnah explaining it. The Elohim Shtuki. These are the Shtukim. These are the ones that are referred to as the Shasukim. Kol Shumakaris Imai Venamakaris Aviv. He knows who his mother is, doesn't know who his father is. Which means basically we know who his mother is, but we don't know who his father is. So the explanation is, I'll read to you from the bottom. So why are this person called the Shtuki, the silenced one? The answer is, the reason why he's called the silenced one is if this child calls someone father, his mother will silence him because the father is unknown. Now, since we do not know who the father is, we suspect that he might be a mamzer. His father may have been a mamzer, which would make the child a mamzer, or an erva to his mother. Or let's say the father of this child was an erva to the mother, which means he's a close relative of hers, which carries, what cohabitation with such a relative carries the death penalty, or she was married to another man where they cohabited, in which case the child would be a mamzer. So because we don't know who the father is, therefore we're left with a situation where the child is a suffix, a doubt. What is this child? What's its lineage? That's the Shasuki. And then the Mishnah continues, Asufi, the gathered in one, the taken in one, Kol Shenasaf and Ashuk. He was taken in from the marketplace. He was an abandoned child. And he or she don't recognize who his father and mother is. Meaning we don't know who the parents are. And therefore, we really have the same kind of situation. We don't know who the parents are. We don't know what their lineage was. We don't know what their situation was. And this child may be a mamzer. And therefore, both these cases are treated as a suffix mamzer. A person, it's a doubt. We don't know. Is he a mamzer or not? And because he is a mamzer, or a suffix mamzer, a question if he's a mamzer, he cannot marry an ordinary Jewish person. However, as the Mishnah stated before, at least according to one opinion, he can marry a ger or any of the other people that would not be able to marry an ordinary Jewish person. Okay, so that now here they bring down a very important principle or a very important understanding, and that is that in the case where the child was basically abandoned, we don't know who the father is, we don't know who the mother is. Child was abandoned. Okay, how do we even know the child's Jewish? You're telling me there's a problem. Maybe he's a mamzer. Maybe he's not even Jewish. Who says he's Jewish? So the halacha is like this: such a child is considered a Jew only if he's found in a town where most of the inhabitants are Jewish. So if most of the inhabitants are Jewish, then basically we have this child. The child has basically been separated from the people of the town, and we say that this child comes to the majority of the town. Otherwise, he's presumed to be a non-Jew. Meaning if there's no majority of Jewish, then we presume he's not even Jewish. So the whole discussion here, meaning, and if he's not Jewish, he's just not Jewish. And the whole discussion of our Mishnah is in a situation where the majority of people are Jewish, so we know the child is Jewish, but we don't know what his lineage is. That's our issue with the suffix mamzer. Okay, so you need to have but again, in the case where the Asufi, the one gathered in, we don't know who the parents are. There must be a majority of Jewish inhabitants of the city in order to assume the child's even Jewish. Now, Abba Shaul Yakari the Shtuki Beduki. Abba Shaul would call the child that we refer to as the Shasuki, the quieted one down, he would refer to them as Beduki, which means the ones that need to be checked out, need to be examined. What does that mean? According to Abba Shaul, you can ask the mother about the identity of the father. Meaning Beduki, check it out. We don't know who the father is, ask the mother who the father is. And if she says that he was not a disqualified person, she's believed. And if she says, I know who the guy was, and I know that he was not an erva, and I was not married, and he was not a mamzer or any other kind of disqualified person, then we believe her, and the child's fine. So let me read to you from the notes here. According to Abba Shaul, a mother is believed to identify the father of her child. If she says that he was not a disqualified person, such as a mamzer and erva, the child is not a mamzer. That the child has the status of a shisuki, the child has the status of a suspected mamzer, only if his mother is not available to ask. I mean, we know who the mother is, but she's just not around. She died, I don't know. Or she does not know with whom she cohabited. She doesn't know. She got together with a man. She doesn't know about it. She doesn't know who he is or anything about him. Or she forgot. And because she doesn't know, so she cannot establish what his status is. But that's according to Abba Shaul. Abba Shaul says you can believe the mother. The Tanna Kama did not say that. The first meaning of the Mishnah did not call the child the Baduki. The Tanna Kama called him Mishsuki. That means, according to the Tanna Kama holds that the mother is not believed to say whether or not the father was a disqualified person. Not believed. Therefore, Baduki is not an accurate name, since nothing would be gained by examining the mother. And according to the Tanna Kama, there's no point of examining. What are you going to ask the mother? She's not believed anyway. And therefore, he never referred to the child that we know the mother is, but not the father, never called the child a Baduki because there's no point of examining them. So according to the Tanna Kama, the mother would not be believed to say the father was fine. Abba Shaul says that she is believed to say who the father was and to say that he was fine. And the Bartanura says, halacha Abba Shaul. The halacha follows Abba Shaul that we could ask her to identify. If she can't identify, then the child is a suspected mom, meaning a person that we suspect, that we have a doubt as to perhaps he is a mamzer. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Rabbi.